Hey guys, what's going on? So in this one, we're going to be covering the Kartikeya guild balls for P5X Global version 3.2. And this is the team we're going to be running here. So Moko 1, Wonder 2, Twins as a strategist 3, Haru 4 with Phoebe as navigator, and then Wonder is going to be running Starry Compass with Dionysus, Shiva, and Cert. And I was going to say this is kind of our B-side this week, but because we have so many good supports now, we can use the Twins here. So it's kind of like two A-sides, if you want to think about it like that. But this boss is like kind of common at this point, and this team you've probably seen me run before or something similar to it. So I don't think I have a ton to say on it, so let's just jump right into the slot-ins. If you don't have Haru on this one and you can't borrow a Haru, or you already used your borrow on the other side, then this boss does not resist fire or curse, so obviously it being an AoE fight, you'd probably want to use a sweeper, which kind of leaves you with Honor Joker as your options as far as DPS go. I did try this without Moko and used like Howler or Rin or Leon instead, and I was within like 10-15% of this score that I'm getting with this team, so definitely viable, especially if your Haru is built a little bit better than mine is. So if you don't have that same Moko restriction or you don't have Moko, I think you definitely could run like Twins Leon, you could run Twins Howler, you could run Twins Rin, because you don't need a Guardian or Medic this week. Moko just does do a lot of good buffing, so she ended up just giving me the highest score. But, you know, mix and match with your units on your account and see if you can come up with something better, possibly. And then as far as the Twins go, if you use the Twins on the other side, or you don't have the Twins available to use at all, then you could use Leon here. You could even try and use like Riddle here if you have like a high awareness and you've actually got Riddle like built out. I have her A6, unfortunately, so she actually does come in handy sometimes. I just didn't use her here because I still think this is probably better, but she's definitely like a backup option and viable on this team. And of course, if you didn't end up using Wind or Cord on the other side, then you could try and find a way to fit them in here too. You could do like Wind Twins, you could do Twins Cord, however it kind of works out for you. And then we use Futaba on the other side, but again, if you didn't use Futaba on the other side, you can use her here. She's obviously going to be your like best in slot navigator, but I'm going to be using Phoebe. If you don't have Phoebe available, then you can go ahead and use Wind here, or your best available offensive navigator if you don't have any of them available. But yeah, I think that'll kind of do it for the slot in. So if you have any questions on anything, feel free to let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer whatever I can for you. And as far as personas go, nothing really out of the ordinary here. Dionysus with Rebellion and Revolution. And then for Shiva, no skill training required, just Dance of Destruction. And same goes for Cert, we're just going to be using Maracunda. Then as far as card sets go, my Haru is running Wisdom and Pleasure. I did throw some random stuff on her as far as Mindscape goes, nothing crazy, more like the stat things. I was trying to make her self-sufficient, I think, at one point, so I didn't even realize I had stuff in on this one. Twins are running Nativity and Power, and here's the Twins Mindscape. Moko is running Creation and Reconciliation, and Phoebe is running Integrity and Labor. But yeah, I think that kind of covers everything. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer whatever I can for you. Otherwise, I will see you guys when we get into the fight. I think this should be a pretty quick one. Alright guys, so let's get into it here. And because we're using Phoebe, we're going to end up actually just guarding with everybody. Haru's going to guard for 2 turns, but everyone else just guard for 1 turn. Because Phoebe wasn't able to find a way to get her cocktails, or I wasn't able to find a way to get Phoebe's 2 cocktails for both weakness phase turns without taking this extra turn, we're just going to kind of artificially lengthen this fight by 1 turn so that we can use Phoebe's skill 2 one more time to get that extra premium cocktail, essentially. And plus, we have to be kind of careful in this fight anyway, because with the Twins, especially at A1, Haru can like accidentally one-shot this thing, which is a concern. If like your Haru is A1 plus or your Twins is like a much higher awareness, you could be in danger of like one-shotting this, in which case you'll probably have to tweak this a little bit, but Phoebe can go ahead and use her skill 2 on Haru for now. Moko, use her skill 2 on Haru. Wonder and swap into Cert, and I'll spare you the details on the extra turn and the weakness phase thing on the debuffs. But we're going to go ahead and use Maracunda, and then we'll have his highlight available here in a second, and kind of for that same reason, there's not really any highlights we can use that won't interfere with the Twins and Haru's highlight in the weakness phase, so this is kind of the best I could do. This will last 1 turn into the weakness phase, but it's better than kind of letting it sit there, right? As the Twins go ahead and use their skill 1 now. And then my Phoebe's up again. If you don't have the weapon, it'll just be, you'll just be kind of doing what we're doing next turn. But Haru can guard 1 more time, like I said, because she'll probably like one-shot them if we're not careful here, potentially. I think in the turn order thing, I'll put Phoebe as like if you didn't have her weapon, because it doesn't really change anything. If you do have the weapon, you'll just be able to do everything like 1 action earlier. But I think it just makes it a little more clear rather than having her like spread out all over the place in the turn order thing. As Moko uses her skill 3, and then Wonder swaps into Dionysus to use Rebellion on Haru. The Twins can rotate to their other skill. Will automatically trigger the skill 3 here. If you're A0, obviously, you just use skill 3 next turn. Kind of works out nice because you'll have those buffs for the entire weaken phase either way. So, and then Phoebe's available again. And honestly, I kind of hate that Phoebe's weapon gives you like the cooldown, because it makes explaining this so difficult, because it's so like weird and all over the place. But Haru's going to use her skill 1. We're going to go to the weakened phase. But essentially, I'm just going to hold Phoebe's thing until the start of next turn, because if I used Enchanting Stir there, I'd still be able to use the skill 3 for both weakness phase actions. But using it now with the weapon, I'll end up being able to get another buff on during the last turn. So it's just kind of which way you want to position the buffs. Doesn't really make much of a difference. But anyway, the twins can go ahead and use their Fire and Ice highlight. And then Moko can go ahead and start her little rotation over again with the skill 2 on Haru. Wonder can use Revolution on Haru. Then the twins can go ahead and use their skill 1 again. If you are a 0, you would use the skill 3 here. And Haru can use her skill 3. Get our second ammo type here. And then last turn here, Moko can use her skill 3. Wonder will swap into Shiva, and we'll go ahead and use Dance of Destruction. Apply those Karmic Alteration debuffs. Then highlight up again, but we're just going to wait because we need to use Haru's, and I'd rather just let the twins, do whatever they have to do. It doesn't really make any difference. So twins will use whatever skill you didn't use last time. And then they'll follow up with the skill 3 if you're A1. And then we'll go ahead and use Phoebe again. Like I said, we end up getting like that extra turn out of this, with the weapon, but disregard. It's not all that important. As long as you get the skill 3 off with the 2 cocktails at the start of the weakened phase, it doesn't really matter. Haru can use her highlight now. We'll get that final bullet, and then we'll use her gun and finish this off. And kind of hope for the best. It should be like 80-something. I think it's like a 4 times mult. Yeah, 81. So I think this is okay, considering we're not using Futaba or anything like that. So, and my Haru is like not incredibly well built anyway, as you guys probably know. I'm sure there's something better, but just kind of what I came up with here this morning. I think this is still like respectable. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. But yeah, I think that's kind of going to do it for this one. This is not a 98 ranked score, by the way. Just so you know, I was borrowing our guild's A6 Haru just to do some testing because I think people were struggling, which is, I guess, a note for the video, by the way. If you have A6 twins or you have A6 Haru, you could struggle pretty badly to not enter the weakened phase right away, because essentially if you have the twins and you have an A6 Haru, or even, an A6 twins and a Haru, they're going to automatically, potentially, enter the weakened phase on the first turn because the twins are automatically using skill 3, and then Haru at A1 plus is automatically using the skill 1, which is ending the pre-weakened phase and sending you to the weakened phase early. So definitely some like workarounds you're gonna have to do. I was able to do it with the A1 twins and the A6 Haru just by like basically perma-guarding with everyone who would do damage until the weakened phase, but that feels really suboptimal, so I'm still kind of trying to work that out. But this strategy that we did here in this video should hopefully work for like 90% of people who don't have access to an A6 Haru or an A6 Twins or whatever through Guild Assist. And even then, you can still take the general principles and the stuff that we do in the weakened phase as kind of what you could do in that situation as well. So, but yeah, if you have any questions on anything, feel free to let me know down below, and I'll do my best to answer whatever I can for you. Otherwise, I appreciate your guys' support as always. I will see you on the next one, and have a good one.